Colossal Tussle Podcast Episode 3. Bigger, better, badder. Live from Canada, where a poutine a day keeps the doctor away. It is KJ Johnson alongside the King of Soul, here to sing the Colossal Tussle Podcast Episode 3 intro. He is the incomparable, the tenacious, the tyrannical.
Just John.
Exactly.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Surviving.
Yep. Surviving another episode, getting into the tank. Episode 3. And Mia Copa on this one. I totally forgot about the AEW Revolution predictions. Yep. So last week, we did say that we were going to begin the review of the Royal Rumble 1990, heading into WrestleMania 6 with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, spanning that little mini storyline. However, we've got some predictions to get through first. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to talk about some wrestling news. We're going to do some of the AEW predictions, which, of course, the winner will be choosing a random show to review, but that will come after we get into Royal Rumble and WrestleMania starting next week.
It took us a little bit, but it's going to happen. Don't worry, guys.
It's going to happen.
You guys are going to get the Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan.
Sure. That might happen on the road to WrestleMania 6. Who knows? How's it going, my man?
Pretty good. A very busy week of wrestling. A lot of shit to cover. Excited to start this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes. So, without any further ado, let's get into some wrestling news for the week. John, what have you got for me, baby?
So, first on the docket, I think the most important news that came out this week, AEW buys ROH. Yes. 3 letters purchased. 3 letters.
3 letters purchased. 3 letters gained.
Yep. So a lot of people are saying that with this acquisition that they're probably going to turn ROH into AEW's version of NXT. And a lot of people are kind of on the fence about that because they already have AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation. So there's questions as to what's going to happen with those 2 shows, what's going to happen with Rampage. You know, is ROH still going to be broadcasted like it was? Is it going to take on a lesser role? So there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Tony Khan just kind of dropped the bomb on us about the purchase, but didn't really elaborate on any further details or anything like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he was quite high on cocaine during the announcement.
He was very jittery.
He was super jittery. The wide eyes.
Listen, he was just excited. His first purchase.
He looked like he wasn't sure where he was. That as it may.
If only they had someone like a Cody Rhodes or something that could have done this announcement.
Could have done this a bit more eloquently, perhaps. Drag Kenny Omega out of there
exactly
for a little thing. But
so overall, how do you feel about the purchase? Now they have a huge library with all of the ROH stuff,
absolutely,
plus the AEW stuff. Like, where do you see this going?
Well, first of all, I mean, ROH being purchased by Tony Khan is an absolutely huge move. Probably one of the smartest things that he could have done was scoop in there and buy that up instead of WWE having that.
That would have just made their catalog unbeatable at that point.
Yeah, and I would also think that ROH just wouldn't be a thing anymore. I think if WWE got in there and bought it, they would have been like, well, screw you. I'll just take your library and have all of your little midget friends go to AEW.
Look at what they did with the whole British scene, where they just bought everything up.
Took the library,
I think every now and then, I think like an Evolve show pops up, but other than that, like they wiped that whole
exactly.
area
Just
clean.
pretty much non-existent,
Yeah.
right? So I think Tony Khan will probably breathe new life into ROH. At least, probably gonna try and negotiate a platform for it.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if an ROH show turns up on TNT.
Okay.
Because they have moved already off of TNT onto TBS, if I'm not
TBS,
mistaken. So I mean, they obviously have good rapport with Turner Broadcasting.
Mhm.
So TNT and a show ROH could land something, good credibility. As for whether or not it should become a developmental territory, I think that's the absolute wrong way to go.
Yeah.
I think ROH should still be its own thing.
But sorry to cut you off, but here's
Yeah.
my thing that I've seen a lot of people kind of question as well is this too much stuff for Tony Khan to handle? Because he has Dark Elevation, he has Dynamite, Rampage, and now taking on a whole other, there's already people complaining about their position in the company.
Yeah.
How things currently are. So is it too much too soon for Tony Khan, or do you think they just have enough talent to make this work?
I think it would only be too much for him if he becomes a creative head of ROH. I think just so long as he has it as a property,
okay,
like if you have it as just I own ROH in order to get it out of its financial troubles, because that's a lot of the times what happened with Impact.
Yeah,
was that it changed from this bitch to this bitch to that guy.
Yeah.
But sometimes the creative direction stayed the same. It was just different purchases. So I see it more of it should be an acquisition for Tony to just have tape library, sure.
But keep
we
them
can
running.
We can get the tape library. We can get a streaming service with more credibility now because we'll have AEW and 20 years worth of ROH backlog.
Yeah. And I know they really wanted that all-in pay-per-view as well. That was, part of the ROH library.
And 90% of ROH stars of yesteryear are in AEW right now, holding that thing together along with Paul White and Mark Henry for some reason. So yeah, I think it needs to be its own separate entity. Tony Khan owns it. I'm hoping that it's just for the library and just to get them out of financial trouble.
And let them do their own thing.
Exactly. And then, poaching, sorry, not poaching, that's the wrong term, but taking talent from ROH up to AEW.
Sort of like
vice versa.
What they've been doing so far. Yeah.
But just have it be completely separate.
So here's another question. What's your feelings on a possible ROH invasion angle? I've heard this from a couple people saying that there might be an invasion angle with ROH. Man, what are your thoughts?
The invasion angle, I think, needs to be something that's just dead and buried. Like just the entire concept.
Because I've seen a lot of ROH superstars like doing like fantasy bookings and stuff.
But it's like freaking Jesus. Like ROH, you talk about NXT invading WWE, or when WCW invaded, or when ECW invaded. The problem is that when you look at any invasion, even going back as far as Jim Crockett and UWF, one company has to look lesser.
Yeah.
One company has to lose. So it's like, who benefits? Right? Because the winner is like, oh yeah, we won in this kayfabe universe where nothing matters. But then you're like, oh, well, you just buried the other company. Or if you can't keep them equal.
Because what company is going to benefit from losing?
It's a lose-lose situation. The people that win are just like, oh, you buried the other company. And if you lose, you're like, oh, well, should have booked it better or some shit.
And you can even see stuff like that even in the current product now with WWE, how they have SmackDown and they have Raw, and they try to make it seem like they're both on equal grounds. But then every time, bragging rights comes around, Raw, goes 7-0 against SmackDown. And it's like, how is that going to make SmackDown any more interesting now?
No, it doesn't. So I think the idea of the invasion is just the fundamentals are just flawed. So
unless the end point of this invasion is to just close down ROH, which I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, there's no point of doing an invasion angle at this point.
And it's the same thing, like, if New Japan came into AEW or vice versa. It's, like, still the same thing. Like, you can't send anybody to a different company and be like, okay, they are free to lose all the time, and we will still gain something from, like, the egos and the money. It's just, like, business, and it just won't work that way.
And that's why every time I see people talk about how there's plans of doing a G1 with AEW guys, and so I'm like, maybe they'll send one or two guys, but it's not gonna be a full like co-promotion G1, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure New Japan wants their guy to win
Of course.
and go to Wrestle Kingdom.
Of
Like,
course.
why would they want an AEW guy to win and then go to Revolution on a paper that's not even, you know? So
right, that the Japanese won't see.
But you know, that's the Twitters and their speculations about what could happen, what could this mean.
Yeah.
You know, when you give a community like the wrestling community not enough details about something, and you just let them kind of go on their own, they're always gonna yeah.
Incredible.
Also this week, Vince was on the Pat McAfee show. Super important because Vince does not do interviews.
No.
So the fact that this even went down, I think he was like an hour late or something like that. Yeah, he was like an hour late, but it happened. I saw a lot of good reviews about the interview. I thought it was gonna be like a bit more kayfabe, but they got down to some real stuff. And he did announce that he was gonna be inducting Undertaker into the Hall of Fame, which I kind of assumed.
Yeah,
because they've been like, you know, that's been his guy since day one. So, you know.
Yeah, I got to throw my hands up at that one. I was certain that it was going to be Kane. I was certain.
I'm pretty sure 90% of the people thought it was going to be Kane, though.
Yeah, but Vince is definitely fitting. Makes sense to give the guy, you know, that killed himself for you.
Yeah.
And
lost his whole streak.
Yeah, built your foundation on Saudi blood. You know, inducting the guy is the least you could fucking do.
And apparently he's only the fourth person he's inducted?
Third or whatever.
Yeah. Just kind of to let the fans know how important this whole thing is, right?
Yeah.
Like, so Vince does not come out that many times, so when he does, it's because that person's special or Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, you know. But it was a great interview. I listened to the whole thing immediately as it went up. I thought it was a fantastic interview. You know, that's probably like the most real that Vince has been in forever. And in probably like any interview, because I think every interview before that I've seen, he's still kind of been putting on a bit of a macho show.
Well, the last interview I saw him in was, I think, the one where he slapped the interviewer or some shit.
Yeah, or where he wants to strangle Bob Costas.
Yeah. Yeah, most of his interviews don't end really good.
No. I think because he's always going on interviews to, like, fight somebody that's accusing him of, like, killing a wrestler or something, you know? So I think that's what made this so nice for him, at least, was that he's not going on there to be like, why are you killing the wrestling business?
No, this is with one of his employees.
Yeah. And you could, that was another thing, too. You could tell that he actually seems to like Pat McAfee. He seems to actually like him.
Listen, he's grown on me on commentary. I love him on commentary.
Yeah, I think he's great. Yeah, it was a really informative interview. I thought it was cool. The one thing is that, like, Vince will just not admit to weakness. Right? Like, he doesn't get tired. Nothing has been his fault. The WWE is fine. It's the most profitable it's ever been. Yada, yada, yada. Like, you know, kind of like, okay, old man. Like, okay, boomer. But be that as it may, he still came off pretty nice. He was funny at parts. He was insightful in others. And I was kind of understanding his business psychology for the most part when I was listening to him. And the one bit that actually got me was when he's like, if I get hit by a bus, I want just 1 second to say thank you. And I was like, oh.
There is a soul behind all of that.
And I was like, oh, that's actually really sweet,
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the interview. I thought it was very good. Inducting The Undertaker is great. Pat McAfee is apparently wrestling at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Aren't they trying to do like him? And what's the kid's name? Austin Theory?
No.
No.
The rumors that I've heard is that it's Pat versus Vince McMahon.
But like in a cinematic match.
I know. I think it's in a 20x20.
Oh my god.
It's in that ring.
Hey, two nights. They have to fill time somehow.
So if Knoxville can do it, then McAfee and Vince can do it.
Oh. I still can't believe they're going through with that one too.
Yeah.
All right. So, my last point for the news today is WWE 2K22 comes out next week. For the fans of the game, they know that they took a hiatus last year because their last game was terrible.
Absolutely
terrible. So there's a lot running on this release. But my only thing was looking at the roster, and like I've checked and everything, there are 36 wrestlers in the game who are no longer with the company.
Oh no!
Yeah. Just like Shane Strickland is still on there as Isaiah Swerve Scott, and he's still the North American champion.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So, and then there's rumors of a combo system to like the game. So far, the reviews haven't been too kind to them, and I feel like they need this game to be a success if they want to keep a good relationship with WWE.
Yeah, I think 2K is just lazy. I'm going out on a limb. Lazy.
Yeah.
Just in all of the things that I've seen 2K do, because they cover basketball, they cover hockey. I think they have a golf game now. Yeah, they've got a whole bunch of 2K shit. And all of them have just kind of been like copy and paste for a lot of years, right? So
add a couple lights here, change a couple uniforms, and
And I mean, I with the roster, it's unfortunate that it's that many.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, and that's tragic. But
they have two versions of Mia Yim in the game, and she's not even in the company.
I can't really, I'm not going to put that on them. That's not them to blame. They can't keep up with the amount of things, otherwise the game would never come out.
And they can't have a game with just 20 superstars on it.
It's not an arcade game, lest we forget. I mean, bits and pieces of it have looked cool.
Yeah.
I think the graphics are looking pretty nice. The My GM mode is back.
I'm very excited for that. Yeah,
that's a huge thing for me. The only problem is that if you have My GM mode, eventually, sometimes, maybe at some point, you might have to play the game. And if the game is shit, and the actual wrestling bit is garbage, you might be less inclined to play the GM bit. So.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm still holding off my judgment till it comes out, but it's not looking promising.
No,
it is not looking promising at all.
Yeah, I am definitely waiting for the reviews.
Yeah,
I am waiting to see some substantial gameplay.
Definitely.
Seeing what some YouTubers.
I want to see more than 3 people get on the server at the same time and see how it's gonna react.
Yeah. So. It's going to be interesting to see, there's been a video game lover, specifically WWE video game lover for forever. So it's sad to watch it die out as it did. So hopefully it makes the comeback that it really deserves.
But on the brighter side, if a bad game leads to them leaving 2K for a better developer, then I hope this game is garbage.
Yeah.
Because I would much rather see them go to a developer that actually cares about the game.
You would think.
Right? Than going just to the most popular developer who probably doesn't have time to spend on WWE.
Yeah, because they've got like tons of different properties that they do.
And like, all of their properties come out every year. So they're always they don't have any off time to focus on fucking WWE and their shit.
Yeah, exactly. And their ever-changing life.
Exactly.
Good God. Favorite wrestling video game? Go.
Oh, damn. Probably SmackDown versus Raw 2000. Is it 2007, I think it is?
God damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hot pick.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Because I got it when I was like a kid still.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when I was first kind of like, because before that I was just playing video games to play video games.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got to a point where like I actually kind of understood video games and like really was enjoying them. And like that was like a huge purchase, because quick side story, I wasn't in the country at that time. I was back home, and video games back home are a lot of fucking money.
Where are you from?
Dominican Republic.
There you go.
And video games over there are a lot of fucking money. And they managed to, get some money and buy me this video game because they know I love wrestling. And yeah, like
some money to get.
Yeah,
like they went fishing or something.
And
made some trades. Got on the flea market.
And it was one of those games. Anyone who grew up poor knows what I'm talking about. It was one of those games where it's like, you're not getting another game till you beat this or this one breaks. So I kind of had that game for like almost a year, and that was like all I played. So like it has a soft spot in my heart.
Nice.
Yeah. What about yours?
WWE 2K12.
That was
no. No. My God, which one was mine? The one that's really jumping out to me is SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, I want to say. So it's the one where Brock Lesnar was first in the WWE.
Okay.
So it's not Here Comes the Pain.
Oh, that's what I'm confusing it with that one. Yeah.
It's the one just before that, where Hogan just returned. It's got like the WrestleMania 18 thing. And like I remember, because that was the year that I had started watching wrestling and like really remembering wrestling.
Yeah.
So 2002, 2003-ish. And yeah, it had like everybody that I really liked. Like I could play as Hogan, Shawn in a t-shirt and jeans.
That whole phase.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. I could play as Hogan, Vince, Flair. Eric Bischoff wasn't there yet, but I would have killed to have him in the game too.
Yeah, because that year there was a good mix of like old school and new school guys.
Because that was like the fresh, the brand split.
Yeah.
That was that year, and that whole game was centered around that. And then also Steve Austin being a free agent and something like that. And it still played arcadey, but it was also during the time that it was starting to get more realistic. Got huge nostalgia for that. That's my game, I think.
All right.
So yeah.
So do you got anything on your side of the news?
I do. I've got some very it's a touchy subject to kind of touch on.
Let's go for it.
Definitely don't want to be political on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I want to stay away from that as
but
best
we're covering all things wrestling, so we got to do it.
Right.
We got to do it.
Exactly. Here at the Colossal Tussle podcast, we would like to take a quick side moment to promote something in our home country. As a matter of fact, our home province.
Yep.
Yes, Canadian independent wrestling. We must support it, Just John. We must support it.
Support all indie wrestling.
Exactly. And so the only one that I could scrounge up was... I'm just kidding. But we are proud and very happy to give this plug off to Barrie Wrestling. We are about an hour away from it. It's going to be happening on Saturday, March the 5th. Barrie Wrestling has a show called Our Rightful place.
Yep.
And it is going to be taking place at 49 Ferris Lane at 5 p.m. with a no capacity limit. We are getting back to regular, all American, scratch that, all Canadian pro wrestling with no limitations. You can still get your tickets for general admission at 5 p.m. Once again, Barry Wrestling presents Our Rightful Place, Saturday, March the 5th. That is tomorrow. And today, when this podcast is released, at 49 Ferris Lane at 5 p.m. Get your tickets now.
And if you're an indie promotion that wants us to highlight your show, always hit us up. We're always more than welcome to help you guys out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find us at the Colossal Tussle podcast.
On everything.
on
Twitter,
yeah, we're gonna
YouTube. You can put a comment. We'll find you.
We'll find you somewhere. Give us a special signal on Spotify, like and unlike us 3 times, download and take away the download twice, and we will respond to you immediately. So yeah, free plug for Barry Wrestling. We did that completely out of our own volition because we want to support Canadian independent wrestling.
And we love wrestling.
Of course. And we love wrestling. So it's not just Canadian independence, although we really want to hear from you, Canadian independents. Let's get back to it. Let's get strong.
Send us some fucking tickets.
Exactly. Send us some free stuff.
I would love a hoodie.
Shit. Yeah.
I would love a hoodie.
I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple of the guys in the show. One specifically is Tarek. And, I'm going to give him a personal shout out because I think he's one of the best Canadian wrestlers that we have right now. Fantastic. I don't know if you've ever seen him.
No, I don't think I have.
Alex Vega, aka Tarek, goes by Tarek.
Oh, okay. I remember him by Alex Vega. There you go.
Yeah. He used to be in Smash Wrestling.
Yep.
Fantastic guy, along with Sebastian Suave, my big brother, John Greed.
I remember all those guys.
Yeah. So, Tarek is going on to do some incredible things, and he's still wrestling today, and he's going to be on that card. And if you have not seen Tarek in action, in person, you have to go out of your way to do so. I'm telling you, Canadian independent wrestling is better with Tarek on the card, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be a big star one day, but family values permitting. Yes. So once again, Barry Wrestling March.
Yep. Go out and go support indie wrestling.
Yes, and support each other.
Oh,
jam that.
I like that.
Here we go. So back to Colossal Tussle Podcast episode 3. Let's get back into character.
Let's do it.
Showed some humility there for a minute. That's unlike us. Let's get back to being arrogant pricks. Okay, so we teased that there might be some controversial, touchy subject news here that we're going to discuss, but not really. But we do. We're not ones to shy away from the things that are a little bit touchy. Okay,
we do not.
No,
we do not.
We confront that bitch head on. The WWE Network, the WWE specifically, have pulled the network off of broadcaster Match in Russia. This is to, deliver a corporate statement regarding the issues that are happening in the Ukraine in regards to Russia and the current invasion and stuff that's happening there. So the network being pulled from Russia, do you think that's a good move on their part?
I don't think it's that big of a I know it's huge, but I don't think it's that big of a news story because I think every company based in the United States or in Canada is slowly pulling their stuff away from Russia. So it didn't come too much of a surprise. Yeah. But man, that's the whole corporate world. I'm gonna leave that to them. But it sucks because I love the WWE Network.
Yes. Yeah.
Too bad for our American friends that have to use Peacock. We got the superior network.
We do. I for one am not to get political on this podcast, but anything that can help bring a peaceful end to what's going on over there.
That's the most important.
The better. And even if it is something as little as saying, we're not cool with giving you our things
Yeah.
to be putting on your television. We are showing you in a peaceful manner or in a non-threatening way. This is not cool.
Exactly.
And we're not going to be a part of it. And for that, I do commend them, because WWE in the past have done some reprehensible shit.
Very much so.
And this is not one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just feel like they're gonna have a heart attack when they learn about VPNs. It's gonna
sweet Jesus, good God, lads. Vince McMahon up in his ivory tower. What about this? What?
But yeah, good move on their part, especially since they're like the company known for their shady deals and stuff. So good for them.
Yeah, good for them, and ongoing support to the men and women that are over there.
Yep.
Well done to you. Okay.
Look at us handling that like two professionals.
I thought that was pretty tactfully done.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
I'm gonna rip out this 10-minute segment about jokes in Russia.
Listen, the Oscars or the Emmys, whenever you guys want to send us our awards, we're here.
Yeah. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, come on, at me, bro. The sex gods, duh.
That's not happening.
Patent pending. Have some positivity. All right, power of positivity.
Oh my God.
Xavier Woods, Kofi, they'll never respond to me. Sammy Guevara, maybe. Love Sammy.
I don't even think Jericho knows how to use his phone.
And Jericho, he's too busy with the Foz. Hosting. I'm not going to do that.
We're just tearing up all our jokes. God.
I've got pages and pages on the floor here. Okay, you know what? I think it's time for some AEW Revolution predictions.
Yep. It's time for the prediction battles.
Absolutely. And I also have some bonus questions for us, just like last time. And I haven't even prepped you on them this time. So what's coming at you is going to be lightning fast. You better be ready, pal. All right?
See if I can handle it.
Yes. So first of all, my first question to you is, when is the show?
It's this Saturday, right?
Okay.
I'm 90% sure it's this Saturday.
Okay.
85% sure it's this Saturday.
Gonna be competing with Barry Wrestling. Let's see how they do.
We love you, Barry Wrestling.
Back from intermission, AEW Revolution's prediction, Sunday, March the 6th. Live on pay-per-view. Call your satellite pay-per-view providers. AEW Revolution. The predictions, where the thing that's on the line, high stakes, the winner choosing the random pay-per-view or random show to review for the other, and probably make them feel a little bit of pain and shame.
And to be honest, last time I did win, and I thought I picked one that wasn't that bad. Well, it turned out to be wrong.
Yeah,
so
it was that bad.
Who knows what happens this time?
It was that bad. I, on the other hand, know full well that I am out to hurt you. I am out to deliver the pain. So here we go. Let's start at the top of the list. Let's start with the main event, probably.
Okay.
The World Heavyweight Championship. It is Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole Bebe for the title. Page is currently the champion. Who do you have?
I'm going with Adam Page. I haven't loved his reign so far, but I don't think they're going to put the title on Adam Cole, because I think the problem is just going to be the same, because then who would you pair Adam Cole with? So I think they're going to keep it on him just for a little bit until they can figure out their main event scene.
I have to agree. So we're going to be 1-1 on that one. Okay. I'm going also with Adam Page title retention. How about the tag titles? That is Jurassic Express versus the Red Dragons versus the Young Bucks.
I'm split on this one, I'm going to be honest. Because Red Dragon is my personal favorite tag team of all time. I have a whole bunch of their merch. I love Red Dragon. But that being said, I still think Jurassic Express wins. I think they're gonna wait to do the Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express because that whole ending ended kind of weird with Rey Fenix injuring his arm and all that.
Yes.
So I think they're gonna try to redo that match again.
You might be right. You might be right. I too have chosen the Jurassic Express.
All right, so we're 2-2.
Yeah. I think the Red Dragons and the Young Bucks, they're probably going to implode on each other.
Yeah.
Take each other out.
Yeah.
Jurassic Express will swoop in for the victory. Let's keep it going with the titles. Women's.
Oh, the ladies.
Yes, Britt Baker.
Oh my God! There's 2 women's matches on this paper. 3 women's matches on this pay-per-view.
Well, I mean,
la-di-da.
The buy-in.
Look at look at AEW.
Yeah, but it's Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. This should be pretty interesting because Thunder Rosa, I'm starting to see reports that there might be a potential injury for Thunder.
Yeah, I did see that this morning.
We'll see because we're going to be watching Rampage tonight. So let's see if that match sticks on. But as it is right now, it is up for grabs. It is Britt Baker as the champion, Thunder Rosa the challenger. What do you have?
I think they take the title off of Britt Baker. If Thunder Rosa is healthy enough to carry the title for a couple weeks, I think they take it off her. I think her star power is kind of going downhill a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen the same passion people had for her when she first got the title as to now that, who I'm not going to point fingers on who's to blame for that, but I think her world championship has run its course, and I think they're going to put it on Thunder Rosa just to shake things up. Just to shake things up.
Very nice. Very nice. I am sticking with Britt Baker. Dissension.
See, folks, we don't agree on everything.
Yeah, that's right. I am out for blood. For blood. All right, Britt Baker is my choice for the title retention.
All right.
Here we go.
Things are getting interesting.
Let's go for that ladder match, Bubba. Let's go for that ladder match. I want to see Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs,
big boys,
Ricky Starks,
medium-sized boy,
Orange Cassidy,
tiny boy,
and a man to be announced. It could either be Christian Cage or Ethan Page. So, double up question. Here we go.
Are you a rapper?
Double up question. First of all, who is going to win tonight between Cage and Ethan Page? Who do you have?
I'm gonna go with Christian Cage.
I'm going to go with Ethan Page. All right, so here we go. And then secondly, who do you have in the entire ladder match at Revolution?
This one is a very 50-50 for me. It could literally be any of these guys, but I'm gonna go with Keith Lee. I'm gonna go with Keith Lee. I think him and Sammy would put on a good, decent match.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am actually choosing Wardlow.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
That's
a good pick.
It's a 50-50 there too.
That's a good pick.
Keith Lee, you're going to have the momentum with Keith Lee. I feel either way. Wardlow, however, they have been steadily building week after week after week. He's getting really over with that Powerbomb Symphony thing.
Yeah. At first, it was kind of awkward when he was trying to do it and people wouldn't follow along with it, but now
it's happening, and I think Wardlow is really getting the crowd behind him. The face turn is impending, and I'm choosing Wardlow as a precursor to what's going to be following up later on in the night, I think.
Also, I thought that the last spot they should have, now thinking about that whole storyline, that last spot should have been what's the name of this guy now? I'm blanking on his name. Wardlow's assistant.
Wardlow's assistant? Spears?
Sean Spears. Holy shit. I kept thinking 10. I'm like, why am I thinking 10?
Interesting.
But I think they should have put him on this instead of Christian Cage and Ethan Page. I think neither of them have anything to win for this.
I doubt that either of them are going to end up picking up the
I feel
victory.
like they could do like a little funny spot with them too.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, but it's going to be a very interesting match. That ladder match could be a show stealer with all them big beefy boys.
Oh my god!
And then you got the people that will probably bounce around. Now that I'm thinking about it, probably Christian Cage is going to get in there, but we'll see. I'm sticking with Ethan Page though. Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. Who do you have and why?
I have Eddie Kingston by way of murder. Because
by way of murder.
I don't think they're gonna give Chris Jericho this win. I think it would benefit more if Eddie Kingston got it. So I think they're just gonna make Eddie Kingston beat the shit out of Chris Jericho.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. The Santana and Ortiz element is what's kind of in there for me. Because for me, it could go either way, that either they help Jericho, which is possible, but I feel it unlikely, or they could intend to help Jericho and accidentally cost him the match. And or turn on him entirely.
I just want whatever happens that they just move on from this storyline. I haven't been that much of a fan of this storyline, especially with Santana and Ortiz. I'm like... Let them do their own thing. Let them get their chance at the tag titles and all that. Like, putting them in all of Chris Jericho's feuds and stuff. Like, it's time. It's time to move on from this.
Do you think that the Inner Circle has run its course?
It has. It ran its course a while ago. Yeah, it ran its course.
Blood and Guts, you think?
A while ago. Would it be? Yeah, it would be around that time. You know why? Because that had a good ending, and they kept stretching it. And then it just kind of fell through. I was like, I'm done with this whole team.
Hot take. I am going with Eddie Kingston as well. I do believe that there will definitely be some Santana or most certainly. This is probably next to the dog collar match, my most anticipated match of the night, which is Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. It can go either way. But
this is the true 50-50 one.
Yeah, but they are going to bleed before they team together. What do you have and why?
Man, this is a real 50-50.
It's a tough one.
I'm gonna go Jon Moxley just because I saw that they're still keeping Daniel Bryan like kind of heelish, and I don't think they're gonna turn Jon Moxley heel. So I'm again, this is a complete 50-50 for me, but I'm just edging a little bit towards Jon Moxley.
Okay, very interesting. I'm going with Bryan Danielson myself. One of them has to either turn heel or babyface.
Yeah,
Bryan has only just really gotten into the healer and the tweener persona. Moxley, on the other hand, if they are going to team up, one of them has to turn.
Now, here's my thing, because Bryan keeps saying about the stable that he wants to create. Do you see, him showing up with some ROH guys and let's think. Do you see him or not ROH guys, but just like a stable and be like, fuck, I'm just gonna do it without Jon Moxley, and that could be like the whole feud, like Jon Moxley versus Daniel Bryan stable? Or...
Yeah, I would actually be interested in the people that I think Moxley and or Danielson have beaten in the last few weeks leading up to this show, like Daniel Garcia. There's a couple other Daniels in there. But those young guys that he was talking about, those guys coming to help Bryan.
Yeah, because I haven't seen Wheeler Yuta in a while as well. So
it could actually be a good twist that all of these guys that he was mentioning already are with Bryan and help Bryan win this match.
Because I don't think Bryan wins clean. Yeah. Like, if they do choose to have him win, I don't think he wins clean.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I believe that it's going to be via shenanigans. But I mean, it would be absolutely incredible to see Bryan and Moxley team up.
Oh my god!
But I think because of that cock tease, they're not going to give it to us. TBS Championship.
Yep.
Jade Cargill, the current TBS champion, versus Ty Conti.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
On 3, because I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. 1, 2, 3, Jade Cargill.
This one is
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I also hate Tycon. They keep wanting to make her a thing, and it's just not working.
Yeah. I mean, bless them. They're at least putting them on the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Putting them on the main card.
Let's not complain about women's match, because then they'll take all of it away from us.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Hardy, Idolo, and Isaiah Cassidy taking on Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara on 3. 1, 2, 3, Sting,
Babyfaces.
Darby, and Sammy. Okay, great stuff.
But that, I feel like that is going to be a sleeper match. That has the potential to be a really, really good match.
Yeah. I've got a feeling it's going to be like 10, 12 minutes of just all-out action. Yeah. You know? Probably, I would argue it'll probably come after like a big freaking like emotional match. Yeah. Like I've kind of got a feeling it will.
It's going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
It's going to be somewhere in the middle.
It's going to be in the middle, and I think So good stuff there. Moving on.
I think tonight.
Yeah.
Sammy, Andrade, and someone else fight for the TNT title.
Oh.
Which I found very weird that they're doing that match on Rampage instead of on Revolution. But
could be a title switch.
No.
Could be a title switch.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hot take.
No.
Hot take. I'm saving the one match for last in case you haven't noticed. So we're going into the buy-in.
Yep.
We're gonna flip right on over there. And Chris Statlander and Hirsch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Layla Hirsch.
Okay.
Layla Hirsch.
All right. I don't know who that woman is. So, so I'm going with Chris Statlander simply because I know the person.
Yes, same. I'm going with Chris. Just because I want this fucking feud to end.
It's been a feud.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Listen, I don't miss a second of wrestling, so I've been up to date with this feud, and
Gotcha.
And their promos have not been great. So the quicker they can end this feud, the quicker they can both do something else where they don't have to be in front of a camera talking.
Hot start. And some would consider this the main event of the show.
Oh yeah, no. Everything else means nothing.
Exactly.
Anything else means nothing.
Hook versus QT Marshall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this is a 50-50 match.
I would agree, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna pick the
underdog.
Odd choice, the choice that nobody expects. I'm going with Hook to win this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm also gonna go Hook on this one.
Oh my God!
Listen, we have to be the podcast that takes risks.
Yeah. We have to be the risk takers, and we are going with Hook.
We're going with Hook.
Yes, and finally, the thing that's probably the true main event, probably going to go down as the best storyline of the year, if not one of the best of all time.
If they can nail this landing.
And I think they will. Punk versus MJF in the dog collar match.
Yes,
Who do you have, and why?
I have MJF. Yeah. I have MJF. I think having him go over Punk just solidifies him as like the biggest heel in professional wrestling, I would say, like at the moment.
And I am going to go with CM Punk. I'm going with CM Punk because I believe that Wardlow is pulling the babyface turn on this show. I think, listen, if you're doing good storytelling, if you're doing logical storytelling, we're in the third act here. MJF did the whole like get CM Punk to feel the sympathy and then do the double cross on him, bloody him, make him feel bad. Like, so that's like third act. The villain has definitely got the upper hand, and then CM Punk, the hero of the piece. He's not a bad guy. Comes back and he wins it with help from Wardlow, who finally can't take it anymore.
And the fact that the last time MJF and CM Punk fought, Wardlow came out but actually assisted MJF. So this time flip the script.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
You know,
I like that pick.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, it's great. It's a great story either way. I don't think MJF is going to lose anything from losing this.
Yeah, no.
Because I think his stock has gone up so much just working with CM Punk, and he's already beaten him in his hometown twice. He already beat CM Punk, so that's a huge win right there. I think no matter what's happening, MJF is going to come out on the better half of this. He's going to come out for the better, but I think CM Punk, he's definitely. I think he's winning. I think this might even be the main event of the show. I would be surprised if Paige and Cole go on last, even though they are the championship match. And I mean, listen, it's going to be a phenomenal match, Paige and Cole.
But to be honest, too, it's like if they do go last, like just looking at this card, I feel like people are going to be exhausted by the time that match goes up. I feel like if it's CM Punk and MJF, there's enough emotion that's going to carry. It benefits more from being last.
Exactly.
If it's MJF, CM Punk.
Exactly.
There's enough of shenanigans. There's enough, hardcore stuff to keep you awake. But if it's Adam Cole versus Adam Page, I feel like there might be, not saying that there will be, I'm just saying that there might be a drop off.
I think so. I think it's going to be a lot harder to get them invested in action than it would be for Punk and MJF.
Exactly.
In the main event. So, but going with Punk with a Wardlow heel turn, which leads me to my bonus question.
All right, let's do it.
Does anyone either turn face or heel on this show? And if so, who? So 2 bonus questions.
Turn face or heel on this show?
Does anyone? Because they've planted tons of different seeds on this show with a lot of side characters being involved in these main storylines. We've got Bryan and Moxley with the young people, as we talked about. We've got tag team triple threat, which could go anywhere. We've got the 6-man ladder match with a lot of side pieces there. We've got, who else? Jericho and Eddie Kingston. We talked about Santana and Ortiz involvement possibly. A lot of things can happen here.
Yeah, no, this card definitely sets up a lot of new matches, but I don't see a lot of people turning face or heel in this show. Like that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't think so. But it does set up a lot of interesting potential matchups though.
A lot of possibilities.
Yes.
A lot of possibilities.
Who do you think is turning?
So you are going with none whatsoever.
Nope.
Okay, well, I've already played my hand. I'm saying Wardlow is definitely turning face. I am planting my flag.
Yep.
So I do believe that there is going to be a face turn, and I do believe that it is Wardlow. I had such a hard time because it was between Wardlow or between Santana and Ortiz. That was my thing. I was saying either Santana and Ortiz were turning on Jericho, or it was going to be a Wardlow face turn, and I got to lead more towards Wardlow in this situation.
Oh, and there's also a potential for some shenanigans as well with Hangman and Cole, because Cole has the whole Young Bucks situation, Red Dragon, Adam Page has the Dark Order. So there's a lot that could go on. I'm sticking with my guns. I don't think there's going to be any major changes, but
I don't even know if Jay White is still around, but if Jay White is still around in AEW,
my God,
we've got Jay White as well.
You do have Jay White.
A lot of factors, and I have to say this Revolution is for the AEW calendar is one of the most anticipated shows that has been around in AEW's inception year on year.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make that their WrestleMania.
Yeah, at least close to it. Close between All In and or All Out. Is it All In or All Out? I think it's All Out, right?
No, it's All In.
Is it All In?
No, All In was the first one.
Yeah, so everything else is All Out.
Yeah. All Out.
It's confusing.
And they have Double or Nothing, but Double or Nothing is more of like their mid-year program.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Revolution has always been a great pay-per-view, and I think this is going to be no different. I'm really looking forward to this show, even though I didn't know what the date was.
This is going to be an excellent show.
Yeah,
this is going to be an excellent show. I cannot wait for it.
Which match do you think will be the show stealer? Which match do you think will be match of the night?
Okay. Well, taking my bias out of it, because I love
Yes.
Red Dragon, so taking my bias
Yes.
out of that match, I would say the ladder match is going to be excellent. I think, Keith Lee with Ricky Starks, you have Warlow, Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh my God, Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee, that spot's going to be bananas. So it's between that and the dog collar match, just because there's too much emotion built in for that not to be great. As long as they don't, shit the bed and and not stick this landing.
Well, I mean, the last time Punk and MJF were in the ring together, it was pretty magical. That was one of the best matches that I've seen in quite some time.
But whoever comes out as AEW champion, they need to get them a proper feud, because there shouldn't be. We shouldn't have the discussion of what's gonna steal the show when the champ's on the on the thing.
It shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
but and it's a shame too, because Adam Cole is a 5-star match machine.
Yeah, it didn't have the proper build.
Yeah,
it didn't have. They kind of were after the whole Murder Hawk Monster bullshit. They kind of were rushing for an opponent, and they kind of threw Adam Cole in it.
Yeah. May have been too soon.
Very soon.
May have been too
soon.
Adam Cole and
because he was
exactly great. Yeah.
He was just coming off of what a lot of people were calling a joke feud. So to go from that to like I'm this super hardcore badass type of guy thing, I think it was too much too soon.
Yeah.
But I feel like in any other time, if they gave this the proper time to build, it would have been way better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's also possible that this could be the beginning of the feud.
That too.
Because that's to me, if we're doing Page and Cole, that's something that should be a long feud and not just a one and done situation.
Well, they have to hit it out the park though with this match if they are going to do that. Because remember what happened with Hikaru Shida and Serena D.
Yeah.
Where they kind of sat on that feud a little bit, and then by the time they picked it up, everyone was like, cold. I don't want it.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. One of this card is stacked. The more that I'm looking at this card, I'm genuinely excited. I'm excited about a wrestling pay-per-view.
Who would have thought?
Looking at the page.
Who would have thought?
Seriously, that is not something that I have been able to say in a very long old time.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an amazing pay-per-view.
Yeah. And I believe that Bryan and Moxley are stealing the show. That's my hot take. That's my pick.
See, that's a good pick. I don't want to fully commit to that one just because I don't know what type of shenanigans are going to happen. But that's a very good pick. Those are two excellent workers. They have the whole John Moxley's never beat Bryan Danielson in his career, which I found super interesting. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see, too, how long this pay-per-view is. Because you're talking a lot of matches that require time. Or that deserve time.
Like that ladder match alone is going to take up a chunk of time.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it only advertises 2 buy-in matches, which seems absurd. Given the stacked nature of this main
But when you look at the two matches, they're probably going to be very short matches.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens time-wise. Hopefully no one's time gets cut, because that's going to ruin the whole vibe of the show.
It would be a shame, because I think all of these matches deserve, I guess, barring Jericho and Eddie, because that match could be short. And
that's definitely going to be short.
Yeah.
Which other ones? I think the trios tag.
Yeah.
That one's probably going to be not super short, but short-ish.
Yeah, it'll be shorter.
Yeah.
For sure. And
Jade and Tay Conti is probably going to be like 2 minutes or something.
Minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, would that piss off the Twitterverse? Would give Tay Conti a chance trend on Twitter?
No, I feel like
Divas a chance trending on Twitter.
I still have the prediction that we're slowly getting into the Diva era again, but that's for another show. But I do think like the way they're building up Jade, if it is a squash match, I don't think anyone's gonna be that upset, especially since Tay Conti just kind of showed up on a random episode and was like, "I want next,"
Mhm.
and so I don't think people are going to be that upset
Yeah.
if it's a squash match.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But,
And again, Ty Conti isn't love all the people on this card. I don't think she's at the level that if she does get squashed, people are going to be upset about it.
yeah.
If it was someone else like a Thunder Rosa or something like that, I see people kind of flipping out about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited for the show, as I said, and looking forward to these predictions. I think I've got you this time. WWE might be your wheelhouse. AEW is my land, and I think that I've got this in the bag.
Listen, there's a lot of 50-50 matches in this.
50-50.
This pay-per-view can go anywhere at this point.
Yeah, but I'm looking to hurt you. I'm looking to hurt your soul. I've got a few things in mind. I've got a couple of. I know you. I know you, John, and I know what'll hurt you the most. I have to review it as well.
I really hope I win now.
But I know what'll hurt you.
I'm gonna play one of those Southern pay-per-views that's like 7 hours long.
No, I'll give you a GM era Raw.
Oh my god! Oh, not those.
Yeah,
nah.
Reverend Sampson or whatever his name is, hosting Raw. That'll be great. But I don't even know if we are overtime, if we're under time. It doesn't really matter because
one gives a shit. We own this.
That is right. We own it. It's on our time. But we thank you very much for joining us for the Colossal Tussle podcast, episode 3. We did it once again. So we have AEW predictions. We talked our news. We're going to announce the winner on next week's show, which will definitely be the Royal Rumble 1990 as we kick off the road to WrestleMania 6 and the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan in the Canadian WrestleMania. We're doing that as well. In the spirit
Look how
of Canada.
It all ties in.
Yes, in the spirit of Canada. We should do a thing where we just review Maple Leaf Garden Wrestling. All them house shows.
Stampede Wrestling.
Yeah, everything was a DQ finish. My goodness. Thank you very much for joining us, listeners. You can follow us on Twitter. We are opening up.
We're making a Twitter.
Twitter specifically.
By the time this comes out, there will be a Twitter somewhere in the universe.
In the universe, and we're gonna call it the Colossal Tussle Pod or something like that. You'll get it.
Again, you'll find us. You'll find us.
But you can also follow us on Instagram in order to get information about us in the meantime. And of course, when we will get the Twitter, we'll put it on the Instagram so that you can follow us over there too. I am at Director KJ, and you are?
I am at Pharaon36. That's FARAON 36.
It took us 3 episodes to do that. It took us 3 episodes to plug social media. Can you believe that? Honestly.
Oh, Lord, we're old as shit.
Honestly, other podcasts would shove it down your throat.
That would have been a
3-day rule. 3-day rule.
Listen, we had to warm them up before we started plugging all our shit.
That's right. We had to marinate you a little bit. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tune in next week where we will begin Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior rivalry with Royal Rumble 1990. For Just John, I am KJ Johnson. This is the Colossal Tussle podcast, and we are out.